Hello everyone, my name is Uthris and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2. We are, I guess, growing in a way. Let me actually hide some of the UI elements here at the start. That would have made a better intro so you guys get to kind of see the overall city and a little bit of its glory here. They still feel very separate. By all standards, you know, we have kind of a downtown area in each quadrant. That's kind of what I was expecting to happen. I'm hoping over time a more uniform look might be kind of established once these two cities and these two kind of become a little bit more connected and intertwined, and we'll just have to kind of wait and see what all of that will look like at the end of the series. But today we are kind of going to I guess work on expanding some production so that we can have all three of these central hubs have all the cargo they require to function. So if I bring up the UI again, the only one that's missing any sort of cargo is Centennial right now. They need some bread delivered. That's kind of a high priority. And also West Jordan here need brick. Brick might be easiest to start with because we have a train station and a construction materials plant here that we'll just simply have to kind of ship from over to the city. So that's a short route. I'm not overly worried about that one. In fact, if I come over and look at, I believe there's a way for me to see the requirements. Here they are. So you can see commercial buildings require tools, and then the industrial buildings require brick here, and both of them are pretty well situated near this little depot here. So we'll get a lot of them, I guess, delivered in a way. So we can basically cover the whole industrial area on this side. Now, long term, you know, the city, when it grows, we're going to have to kind of expand out the industrial area or the commercial area, maybe independently from each other, and maybe make this all commercial only, and try and force maybe the industrial to be on the other side of the interstate. That could be a good thing to do. Not 100% sure about that because we do want the downtown area to look less factorial and a little bit more built up. So we'll just have to see. I've never really played this game too much for looks in a way. I've always just been interested in moving the cargo around, so focusing on that may not be my strong suit at this level. Ooh, even our little water side residential buildings are growing. That's looking pretty cool, and we even have like a truck kind of waiting here right next to the water. Other than brickworks, we have the food processing plant. I went ahead and plopped this down in this kind of empty space, hopefully to limit how many buildings get constructed along this main road here, because it's already a pretty busy space. And it's probably just going to get busier and busier as we go through. I didn't really get any real feedback on potentially making a boat route on this side, so long-term plans we might try, and I don't know, I don't need to really ship anything down to there, and this food's just going to go into town, so that's actually not going to be awful. They're not really going to go across the bridge. Nothing else is coming back this way. This is almost like kind of the max that I expect to hit, but you can see our traffic is still just awful. I could maybe fix this a little bit by maybe making this section here a wider road. Nope, that doesn't help. I was hoping it would, because I really wish this had two turn lanes. That would just make everything just super quick and convenient. But alas, we aren't so lucky, it seems. All right, let's just start. Let's get started and hop on here. Where is stone? I think we have stone on the other side of this hill. We have a couple quarries set up. I probably might split this mountain pass and then connect to the main line here. However, this line does not go across the river. right? This is pretty much just north-south. A little bit of an eastward connection there. So maybe not the ideal place for this to connect. I could also wrap it around the mountain and just bring it more in line here. So that might be the better of the two solutions. So let's grab a kind of a cargo station here. We'll make it, I guess, we'll make it double track. I don't really need to make these stations double tracked, but I kind of like the bigger design with them. And now I just need to make sure that it's angled with the terrain a bit. Kind of like that. All right. And then we get to lay out some rails. Just some quick rails here. We'll go standard track, no catenary, because, well, this is going to be a diesel engine. It's not going to be electric, right? So let's go straight for a little ways as it kind of progresses uphill. And then I want to do a bit of a turn. If I can click on the right spot. And I want to maintain probably about at least a 50 mile an hour speed through here. And I use miles, you know, the speed indicator as a constant when making these things, so that I can make smooth, consistent turns down through these areas. So I think the slowest I want it to go is probably 50, just to keep it consistent. So we'll come all the way out to here. Yep, about to there, but I'm gonna open it up a little bit so that it has more of a straight shot to that other section. So you can see these curves kind of have the same radius the whole way through. It makes a nice, even looking rail line, which is pretty cool, especially as it kind of wiggles its way up through the mountainside there. So we'll go forward a little bit. Something like that. I'll bump up the terrain in the middle just a hair so it can get rid of the sand texture through that point. And then I'm also going to cut back the rails a little bit so that we don't have quite the hump here in the middle. Alright. You know what? This just might be a straight shot kind of deal. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. So if we come over to the current line and just kind of play around here with the connection point. What's straight? That is pretty much dead on. So we'll maybe start there. We'll have to get rid of these little signals, so that we can kind of get this on a pretty sharp angle, I would say. That way we can keep the speed up and traffic hopefully doesn't get slowed down through this area. Yeah, that's not bad. And really, I don't have to be double tracking everything, you know. A lot of real kind of life situations, I don't think they would have a double track just for a route like this, but because the simulation and the way that it just simply works, you know, I'm going to do it anyways, because there's no real good timetable system, as far as I'm aware, unless someone wants to correct me on that, but you know, normally, right, when you hit a single rail area, you would kind of expect that the traffic would be controlled in such a way that they would not kind of compete with each other at that point. And a little bit of a junction there. Okay, that's fine. Only a couple trains will be back through here. I know I got some people saying that I should be careful about using signals too close together like this, because a train could, in theory, stop here and block traffic going from the right side over to the left side. That is very true, but this isn't a super high kind of capacity spot there. So don't really have to worry about it too much. We'll set up the line, new line, stone line. We're starting to get a lot of lines laid out here. Which I'm pretty happy about. All right, and we have an empty platform that we'll be able to use. We're going to only load stone. And we're going to only unload stone, just so nothing gets shipped around that shouldn't be. And then for here, we're kind of at our limit on this little connection point. So I might have to do a new little depot here, because if I overload this too much, then just nothing's gonna go. So let's do this. About there, I would say. And we'll configure it. We'll add a couple platforms just to increase the length a little bit. So 2 new little platforms here. We'll delete this entrance. We'll do entrance exit. And then quickly grab a little bit of a road here. Just like that. Down below. And this can even service the plastics factory if we wanted it to. And I might change the plastics goods factory to kind of use this one to export. It might make sense because we're kind of out of platform space for it anyways. We'll have to see. We'll have to kind of see how that goes here. And if I want to commit to that decision sooner rather than later. So let's set up this line. We're going to do new line, construction line. It'll be up here. We'll set that up and just take that straight over and drop that off. So we're going to be loading brick, unloading nothing, loading nothing, and unloading brick. Pretty straightforward stuff on that. We'll go ahead and buy us a vehicle, cargo. Now what's going to be carrying construction? Oh, bricks. We could do side stakes. That'll probably be nice. So we'll go get about 4 of them. Get them started on the construction line. Pause my game for a moment. We'll buy some other vehicles. So some diesel. A couple of these for the main wagons. We'll do cargo. This is stone, so I'm assuming browns and grays would be kind of cool for this, because it's kind of getting dirty in a way, right? Maybe some charcoal colors. Get a couple dark grays in there, and there you go. That's a nice looking little train there. We'll buy it. We'll clone it. Yep. We'll send both on the stone line. Just like that. We need to go to the stone line and make sure it is a wait for full load. There we go. And we will launch that train. Now I downloaded some assets, by the way, for a little bit of our mod kit here. Because these whole areas kind of seem to be a little empty. And so I kind of want to go ahead and snap on some cars kind of waiting here in these areas. You know, I might try and theme them based on what cars are actually being used, whether they're the kind of gondola variants here. in a way. I kind of can't change their color. But hopefully this looks okay. We also need some state cars, I think. So something like that. Just to make the area feel a little bit more used than not. And this is just an example. I'm going to do it up through here. I might try even for just effect. Maybe if I know that they're going to be using this offshoot. So for example, up here, and I know the a lot of the vehicles will come out of this one, right? For example, I'll maybe put some waypoints, and we'll have the trains actually dodge as they come out of these stations. Kind of dodge some of the parked vehicles. That way it looks like, you know, the game actually knows that they're there. That would be pretty cool. I know we do that a lot in kind of city skyline situations, but just adding these little details, I think makes a world of a difference over time. What other little assets that I download? I downloaded some industrial assets as well. There's a lot of them that I kind of play around with here, whether that's fuel tanks of different sizes and shapes, colanders. We have catwalks kind of thing, corner supported, ladders, so that in theory I could go around and, like, say snap a bit of an area across here to make like an overhang or something like that. Straight supported, have some bridge sections going across. You know, it's this kind of stuff that is going to be a whole lot of fun, I think. You know, like, what's this? This is, a lot of this is in a language that I don't speak, so it's not going to be super clear for me as to where they are, but this is like a covered kind of building, almost like it would kind of snap on to the end of this in a way, you know, and that might not be the purpose of it, but it feels like that would fit. But there's a lot of little options that I want to try and play with eventually to try and just decorate the whole town. At least the big industrial areas, to make them kind of feel a little bit more locked in, you know? And I really wish there was a way for me to block these houses from spawning in a way. If you guys know a way to do that, or if there's a mod to do that, let me know, because I want this factory to kind of look a little bit more standalone-ish, because having all these little homes by it just doesn't look very good. Do we have any stone waiting yet? No, because we haven't hooked this up to a road. That is definitely a factor here. So let's do that. Let's hook up this whole thing here. So we'll go left to right. To center. This might be temporary. I might even start decorating these areas in some industrial stuff just to make them feel a little bit more finished too. Anything to kind of make things look a little bit more grounded, a little bit more realistic in the long run. Now, the next item that we are wanting to go ahead and work on is Getting stuff over to the food processing plant. So I'm gonna need to go to the factory here, and we need to find some farms and place them down. Now I don't want them too far. I also don't want them too close, and I kind of want like at least 3 of them, just so we can have a little bit of a countryside. Now normally I would be waiting until the city's in its kind of final form before moving on to the outskirts like this, but I'd say it's fine to do this a little bit here. So we'll go 1 and 2. We'll get 1 maybe out here at the edge of the map too. I did download a cool little asset that should help. It's this Industries asset here. I think so. Could be wrong. Where is it? I know I downloaded it. I downloaded a way to plop fields. Here we go. Here's Field Plopper. Okay, this has a lot of collision to it. Configure. No. Let me see if I wonder why the collision for this is so weird. Oh, I think the rocks are getting in the way. There's like little rocks out here. So if I say get rid of some of them, because the game wouldn't automatically bulldoze rocks, that would be like way too advanced. Here, let's try that. And then rotate this around. What the? Let's try shrinking it so I can really see the size here. Alright, that's fine. This is fine. This is okay. Oh, it doesn't even like trees. Okay. That's a little disappointing. Trees. So I can put trees around it. So I can like surround the whole thing with a tree field. Make it bigger. This is like an animal one. You can do soil, like a field waiting for harvest. We have wheat and we also have corn. So I want to hook up the trains first and then kind of build fields around it. I kind of wish I could make wedges too. In fact, let me see if there's an option for that. Not really. Not really at all. But that's okay. So some of these places are going to be picked up by train and shipped over to different areas. Probably gonna ship it over to the large yard and then truck it up. I know you would probably want to have your own kind of station here to really facilitate this, but you know, I'm fine with using a little bit more traffic, to be honest. And this yard really only has 2 things coming to it so far, so I'm pretty content in making it feel a little bit larger than it is. Here, let's get rid of this road. It's a bit in the way. Change the slope back to flat and do something like this. And on this one, we'll put it, I think, on the back side of it. Back corner, maybe. But I want to rotate it 90 degrees, so it's a little bit different. I have to get rid of this road. Of course I do. So we'll start with these 2. Kind of producing stuff. Going to be interesting making a track from this side over. We might even just kind of introduce another bridge. So if I do 50 again as our speed limit or minimum, and then just head off this way kind of straight, and then bump this up here a bit. Okay. And we'll make a little bit of a bridge across the river out here. Yep. Just like that. And then onto the normal line. Let's see if I can't get it to kind of snap here. All right, it's not bad. This one's not going to like it, probably because its snap point is kind of already taken. So we'll try a slightly offset snap point, like maybe out to there. Yep, good. Nothing too crazy with that one. And really, this could be another line just going out this way for all I know, but for now, we'll just kind of end it out here. And then this one's going to be a little bit more simplistic. Just kind of going to go out straight. And then I want it to kind of bump up on the other side. So hoping that maybe I could kind of force it to bridge, to be honest. How far does that have to go to get a bridge? Pretty far. Let's start it maybe like that, and then over. Alright, that's the minimum. There we go. I just don't want this thing to interfere with the main line. So that's why we're kind of just bridging across a bit. Like so. That's something I normally really do too much, making like a full kind of overpass interchange like this, but I feel like it kind of fit the objective a little bit. We'll have to get rid of these signals, kind of reorganize them. Come on. There we go. That is a pretty steep bridge there. Is that what I want? Ah, sure. We'll go with that. We'll just go with it. Fake it until you make it kind of deal. Alright. We need to set up a junction like this. Did I do that down here? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Alright, good. And let's get some signals. Kind of get out here. Alrighty. works. We'll call this grain 1. So we'll go up to Lower Springfield and head over to Centennial. I think I want to pull all the way up to 3, to be honest. Or go all the way up to 1, which might be good. Yep, and then it kind of leaves and goes back. All right. Is this connected? It is not. So I have to make a little bit of a configuration change here and do a cargo building on the opposite side, say like that. That'll connect it. Good. Should work just fine. And I want to actually get a path over here to the right. Just kind of like in the depot area. See if that's like kind of doable. It may not be. No, it worked. And then I like to connect the far end kind of first so we can get like this smooth curve looking thing. Because it looks real nice. Oh, come on. I know you can. Come on. Connect. There it is. And this is just a quick connection over to the kind of stockyard area. Cool. So we'll buy a vehicle. We'll get a diesel here. How about for the farms we change it up? Let's mix things up a little bit. We'll throw some of this stuff in there, maybe some like more pale orange and like some pale color there, and a couple gray just to round that off. So this is going grain 1. And this is a different type of train than normal. A little bit of an older model, which I think would make sense for the grain line, to be honest. It looks nice. Really like the color scheme on it. I like these brown wagons. Those turned out nice. That looks a little too stark. Bit of a contrast there. Not awful. I do need to edit grain 1, make it a full load. We're only loading grain. And then Centennial, we're only unloading grain. No loading, no unloading. Alright, so pause it for a second. We need to get the line up for, what is this, grain trucks? Yep. So we will pick it up. I could do the far end on this station potentially. Right? Or not. I guess there isn't a far one. That's a little weird. That's kind of like split like that. Okay. Maybe it can't make the turn. It might make sense to pick it up. Yep, on that side. And then just take it over here. Kind of like that. Definitely a bit of a roundabout way, but traffic-wise, I want to try and stay off this incoming lane. We can go out the outgoing way. That's okay. That's not going to hopefully create too many issues. So that'll work just fine. We're going to load green, unload nothing, load nothing, unload green. Yep. And then we need to get some trucks, which we can buy. Do I have a vehicle depot here on this side? Do I really not? Huh. Well, that's odd. Well, I don't know why it doesn't exist, but we'll just launch it from this side then. Buy vehicle. Now there's some cool hofer trucks that we're going to be using here. Good. It looks a little farmy in a way. There's also these food trucks which we could do, like a Vogue truck maybe, and buy like 4 of them. And then grain trucks. And then you can kind of see them pop out here. Kind of like this. And I like all the truck variety that we have. It's really nice. Super important. I think plastic goods, I'm going to manage this line. And this is Lower West Jordan, so we're going to add a station to here. We're going to move the plastic off this and then go ahead and that should work. We're going to only load plastic and unload nothing here, right? Because this is unloading plastic, yep. There we go. Now we don't have, 3 different kinds of vehicles trying to use the same lane. That was never really going to be efficient in my mind. And that looks good. Look at this. We got the express rail going by the interstate and all the vehicles on it. A lot of trucks coming in here. It makes me happy when I see a lot of people using the interstate. This makes me upset and sad. Just upset and sad, pretty much the whole way through. Maybe I just need another bridge. Because look at these guys. They're just locked in there. They ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Oh, it's just brutal. Brutal traffic on this side. In fact, we'll just take a look at the heat map. Yeah, that's a brutal connection. I just don't know why not as many base vehicles are using the interstate. I guess it just doesn't take them to where they need to go. I might need a second bridge. I might need to think about doing a second bridge. Yeah, who knows? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This is basically it for this episode. It's looking good. I'm liking how everything is filling in. We're getting movement. We're getting a lot of traffic. We have, at least currently, most of the connection set up. I do need to make the connection from the grain to the town, or the food processing plant to the town, but that's a quick little thing. And then we need to decorate some areas and think about expanding the city outwards and potentially solving some of our traffic issues and the fact that we only have one bridge across the river right now. And that should be it. Yeah, that should be it. If you guys are enjoying the Transport Fever 2, let me know on the comments down below. Definitely leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more creative goodness such as this. And with that, have a good one.